Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Space 2 Awakening, where we are very close to taking the first steps on our plan toward getting in the direction of winning the game eventually. It's happening, that's right, get excited, this is the one. So, we have very powerful production facilities on Nos and Nakos. Gemini has been our third most productive system for a while, but I think actually Maz is probably where we want to build the third obelisk. It doesn't have quite as much production as Gemini right now, but it's only at 4 population, and we still haven't built like the fabrication license here and stuff. I think this is going to end up being a very productive city, or a very productive system. So we have a source for all of the materials that we need to win the game. We have 3 systems that are productive enough, I think, to allow us to actually build the obelisks in a reasonable amount of time. Now it's just a matter of increasing efficiency. So I know we've been working on this pulvis production here forever, but I think it's going to go on the back burner there. Don't think it's as important as that fabrication license. And then, once we get this, it'll finish that for us. We're doing really well on money for the moment. And what do we need to do now? Oh yeah. I was just, after opening the game, I was opening up the diplomatic interface to try to negotiate a truce with the Lumeris, because we have what we need from them. And then, while I was opening up the thing, they offered this. I think this is a fine deal. I will absolutely take that. It does not benefit us to be at war with the Lumeris anymore. They don't have anything else valuable. So now, we're just preparing ourselves. We're preparing defense against the Cravers, which I think we have pretty much under control. We have a whole system for dealing with the Cravers. I don't know exactly how we want to remanage this fleet. Probably want to drop a bunch of the gouges, maybe even all of the gouges, and replace them with, these racks. Okay, and then we definitely have to make sure we change up our battle plans, because right now we don't even have that battle plan in our cards. So where was that? Wait, where was that battle plan? Oh, here we go. I was looking for more generic text, but that's totally the text. Okay, so plus 30% hull plating and shield absorption for 10 seconds when an allied ship is destroyed. And this gives us long, short, long. So I think we can probably replace gravity distortion. We definitely want some battle plans that have short and medium as well, because we have some weapons that obviously would like to be operating at medium range. But remember, our laser weapons are still totally fine at long and short. They're not ideal, but they're okay. They're almost as good as the beam weapons would have been. I like plasma distortion for us quite a bit. There's a variety of distances and also shield penetration for our powerful energy weapons. And then set crit chance to 0. We definitely don't want to be running unlucky arms. Repair and recover is okay, but we do have a fair number of bullet ships, so we want to make sure that there's a close flotilla in all of our battle plans, I think. We might be fine like this, honestly. Yeah, I think this is our set of tactics. Alright, so I'm going to run... Let's see. We don't need any of these gouges on this front, I don't think. Let's run these gouges over this way. I don't know, move them to Ibella. I'm not exactly sure where it will be best for them to be. So, the Academy owns the system Mayal and the system Alvaldi. Close to our borders, probably not terribly difficult to take, and they have high-tier strategics. That said, straining to get those is not necessarily going to be all that helpful for us, because a lot of our resources are coming in at about the same number of turns of harvesting per obelisk. So if we get more Orichalcics and Quadronix coming in, then we still have to get a lot of Adamantine and Antimatter from somewhere else, and now of course we can just buy those things. And our money is in a pretty good spot. Yeah, getting Mayal is worth it. We're going to have to make some new ships to make that happen. Or we're going to have to temporarily move the big fleet away from Nos and just hope that the Cravers don't decide to come at us in that moment. Hard to say exactly what would happen there. I mean, the fleet's fast, right? Yeah, I think maybe we just do that. So Varba's on Ibella right now. Does Ibella really need Varb? Probably not. Yeah, I'm gonna snap him over here. We're gonna take this fleet over, and we're gonna go to war with the Academy for control of Mayal. I don't know, maybe this is unwise. It's gonna be an interesting experiment. Given that we haven't seen a lot of Craver vessels around here, I'm suspecting that the Cravers are too busy fighting the Lumeris to come after us. And you, I think, are just gonna hang out right here because we're gonna wanna move in a big group over to Mayal. I'm not sure exactly how this is gonna work. It'll be interesting to see. All right, 4 turns on the power armor. Are we running the appropriate builds here? I think we're actually benefiting from Saints and Sinners a fair amount, and it's gonna be even more the case as we ramp up population on Maz, because Maz is like a very miserable place to live. All these toxic worlds and stuff. So we can't really move that. Species stability is still, I think, relatively important. We need Essence to build up the population of Maz. And then saying admit and improve is fine, I guess. We could swap over to like brains over bucks, or maybe even super tax act, just like thinking about resource incomes, but I think we're fine as we are. Alright, and then Heka needs to be building something, and Heka can just make... Heka's not really having the approval problems, we don't need to worry about that. I guess we can just be doing this for a little while. I want to build fabrication license in all the important places, but we don't need to actually put it up everywhere. And so now that we know which 3 systems we want to be our obelisk builders, those are the 3 systems that should probably get the tier 4 system development. I don't know exactly how we're going to afford that, but that's got to be something of a priority, because we want those systems at full population by the time they start building the obelisks. How are we going to do that? I have no idea. Alright, so we have our new habitation arc. We're going to bring that over here and then just swap the anchoring on this system. And I'm not going to bother waiting for Iriur to finish building its drone networks. This does not matter. Alright, so we want you doing that. You guys merge back up. Ibella can produce for me 2 racks really quickly. Wow, not really quickly, but they'll get built, I guess. Let's let the fabrication license finish, and then we're going to do some holy proliferation. We're going to need some microwave pipes, obviously. Maz has a lot of development to get done. We could uproot the arc from Gemini, I suppose, and send it over to Maz. That might be faster, because Gemini is already so developed. But I don't want to disrupt the building of the behemoth. And also, it's not a bad thing to have a lot of developed arcs. Like, we can use the Gemini arc to still keep building military ships and stuff, you know? So we have successfully hacked Phaeton. Obviously, we are embedding sleepers. I don't know that it really helps us to do anything other than try to get more resources out of these people. And by these people, I mean everyone who's not us. This is not great, but it does give a little bit of industry. We'll get to the good stuff.
Soon your world.
Okay, I don't care about that. So he's increasing his diplomatic pressure on us. He's also got an influence bubble pressing out on us. So he is going to probably be able to get to the point where he can make a demand if we don't do something. Oh, apparently I'm +5 from border friction. Am I pushing him back? What's the influence output of Nos? 150. I mean, it's not bad. Certainly not high enough for me to think it would be pushing back. But apparently, no, we're doing just fine. And in fact, that was a defensive bureaucratic imbroglio. Well, you know what?
Are coming.
I'll push back. Yeah, if we're just going to be gaining a ton of pressure Maybe we can get to the point where
Declaration.
it becomes difficult. What we want to do is use that diplomatic pressure to make it difficult for him to profitably declare war on us, which is absolutely a thing we can do. Alright, so we dealt with all this stuff. Oh, right. When you finish a hacking operation, you should run another hacking operation. That's just like a good general rule. And we'll alternate here so that if they want to purge sleepers, they at least have to do it in different systems. Man, look at how much Orichalcics they started on. Maybe we should have just gone to war with them earlier. At this point, I don't think it would be... I think it would take us longer to fight them than it will take us to fight the Academy. So I don't necessarily think it's worth doing. So you guys, I guess, are headed to Ebony. You guys are also headed to Ebony. May as well just head straight through. It's pretty fast. So 2 turns, we'll have the fleet together and we'll be ready to make a move. And I want to be very careful about how I spend my strategic resources from this point. And honestly, how I want to spend my dust from this point. So the most important thing here is we get this mining tech up. And like this is exactly what I'm talking about. When I say spending, how we spend our dust, this is what we need to be buying. I don't know that it makes a lot of sense for me to do anything here other than just buy these out. So 26k. And we'll let this place develop on its own after that, but we really don't want to... I'm a little leery of selling any of these. How are we on Gedonics? There's none. This is a risk. Hopefully this has made it clear to you why I'm a little leery of using materials that we're not personally mining in our system developments, because like this is a thing that can happen. Sometimes there just isn't any more of the thing, even if it's a very common thing. So we could sell some antimatter, but we're not going to be able to sell enough, right? Like if we sell down, even if we sell down to the point where we only have about as much as we have adamantium, it's still not nearly enough to do that buyout. So we're going to wait a little bit here first. And I guess that we're done then, right? Did I? Yeah, I did deal with that. Okay. We have a little bit more Orichalcics building up. It's a lot of materials, and it's a lot of all kinds of materials. Even the basic stuff, we're going to need just a ton of. Fortunately, we can buy some amount of that. Alright, he's getting his thing on quickly. Obviously, Efficiency Aficionado is going to be very good in his system. Godel is... I guess picking this up? Is on Heka? Yeah, that's fine.
You're making the Sophonoty nervous.
It's got to be a bug, right? With that thing where the text and the voice lines are at cross purposes. The text there was all like, "Oh, you're chillin', we can be pals." The voice line was, "Hey, please don't make me war you, because I'll do it. I'll war you if I have to." All right, we are generating just a huge amount of essence every single turn. Let's go ahead and pump some of that in here. You know what? This I will spend dust on. 900 dust is an acceptable cost there. After Maz finishes that guy, we should probably bang out some microwave pipes, which are just going to be phenomenal here, and then it's going to be a lot more population stuff, and also we need to get these things going, and it's just a lot of building. Did you know we still have a tremendous amount of building left to do? The Sheridan have arrived. We don't care about that. I appreciate you holding up the guard mode, because I told you to do that, but you do not have to worry about this guy. I'm kind of surprised that the Kalmat are still here, that nobody else has moved in on them. So you're still good. We're 2 turns off of having power armor, and then we're not actually going to be able to put it together very easily anywhere. Do we need... Okay, no, we do not need to be building anything in these systems. We could build a system shield, but that would cost a bunch of expensive resources for not a lot of gain. We will get some warning if another player tries to send off an obliterator missile. So we don't need to have system shields really prepped. And honestly, I think if somebody tries to send an obliterator our way, we can just pick up and move. Obviously, there are some systems where I would not want to have to do that, but like the arcs themselves are not really in very much danger. Okay, so 25k. 25k we should be able to make happen this turn, maybe? Possibly? Oh, Jade Onyx. Let's get 4 more Jade Onyx so we can do at least 1 more system development. This stuff is the most common resource in the galaxy. And I think at this point we can probably stop doing level 3 modernizations. Let's just go ahead and commit this as our level 4. I know it's not totally ideal. But we got to start getting our level 4s out now. So, I noticed here that there is Gossamer on the market. We're going to go ahead and buy this, and we're going to put up a level 4 modernization on either Nakos or Nos. I think it doesn't much matter which. Like either one. Obviously, it's a big deal. And then we have a lot of essence that we are going to be spending very quickly in the very near future. I'm going to let these finish first, though. We should do the same thing here. And yeah, this system's holding. Approval is holding for the moment.
Tell us what you plan.
Okay, that's not a great sign for me. Because I was really hoping that they were going to stay distracted for a little while longer. Are we ready to go? No, a bunch of the ships just arrived and don't quite have the movement to make the thing happen yet, so it's next turn, right? Next turn we are going. So these brands only... No, the brands have 12 move. What is it that only has 9 move? Is it the hero ship? Yes, the hero ship is slowing everybody down. Ah, because we haven't redesigned this hero ship in like a million years. Okay, let's fix this. We want a base movement speed of at least 11. And then we could throw in a field accelerator, or a fleet accelerator, but I don't know that we need to. That slot might be better used for other things. What do we want to do with your weapon systems? Hold on a second. I'm going to apply this design. Okay, now that fleet is as fast as we wanted. So the gouges are... The gouges are pretty small. These guys are all bullet weapons. This is a whole bullet weapon fleet. Just trying to think about like optimal ranges and tactics. We could just go bullet weapons on this ship too. Really commit to that for this fleet. We have a lot of the good laser weapons in the other fleets. The other fleet singular. We do need to retrofit a little bit. Ideally, we would retrofit a little bit, but you know, the resources. Do I want to just jam a kinetic enhancer in here? You really don't do that much damage overall. We'd be better off using a thing that that will boost the entire fleet. All right, show me just the supports. We don't need an anti-cloaking module. We have one of those already. Reap Essence doesn't really make a lot of sense. I guess an accelerator module is fine. Alright, so that fleet as a whole has 13 move. Maybe we should swap some of these brands out. They're pretty out of date, but they're also mediums. Yeah, you know what? It's fine. I'm not gonna mess with it. So, or maybe actually, maybe I'm gonna go back on that immediately because the gouges at least have laser weapons, right? Okay, so plan is we need Mayal. Unfortunately, Mayal is where they keep one of their huge fleets. It is a 20 command point fleet with two larges. We have a 20 command point fleet with 2 larges. And probably better ships overall. Like, my larges are about 19,000 attack power on 74,000 health with 2,400 defense. So yeah, our larges are considerably more advanced than theirs are. Next turn. Next turn, when we have movement points again, we are going. So I guess we're good for this turn then. About to finish the power armor, and I have no idea what we're following up with. Oh, hey, they moved their other big fleet back in. Well, that one's not so dangerous, though. Nos has been compromised, which is annoying. I think we can probably afford to run sleeper reintegration here. And actually, we should get... I didn't realize that Nos didn't have a governor. We should probably fix that. You should definitely grab efficiency aficionado, or clerical corrections is also pretty good. He's not... Yeah, he's not actually in our Senate. So clerical corrections is... It has value, but it's not huge. You know what? But there is antimatter on this system. I'm going to go ahead and grab this. There's antimatter and also gossiper, so... It's actually pretty good. Alright, Abella is going to just produce even more population. We're still going to population, or we're still going to essence cap even after that. Because we are producing a very silly amount of essence at this point. Okay, and the secondary fleet moved away, which is wonderful to see. This will be the first time that we've done this, right? Since the expansion came out and the faction became its own, or the academy became its own faction. First time that we've just gone open war and taken their home system and stuff. Alright. So we're definitely going to open up with the Crusader fleet, which has some... mostly short-range weapons, actually. But then the Crusaders themselves are very large and impressive. Alright, let's do this. We definitely want a medium flotilla. So what do we think they're going to do? They also like medium with their larges. Their smaller ships would prefer to be closer. The shield here likes middle. Plus 25% shield penetration for both fleets is a little bit of a bummer, because obviously they benefit from this a lot, but I think this is the way we're going to do this. So I'm going to move the large ships to this flotilla, both because the third flotilla is sometimes a little bit cheaty, and because that's the optimal range one. And I know we're going to have pretty bad firing at this range. Yeah, you want to be middle. We'll put you here. A lot of these guys want to be short, these racks. I think this is fine. It's not grim recycling, but I think I want to guarantee that we'll be able to get the full operational power of the Crusade here. So let's watch this. Not because I think there's any chance this goes bad for us, but because I really want to see our big ships in action. Interesting choice there on their part, choosing not to use the third flotilla at all. I'm not really sure why they would do this. They're just denying themselves a damage bonus, but I suppose they're also making it awkward for me to get my ships at the correct range. There's some weirdness with firing from one flotilla to another and the ranges that your ships are operating at when they do so in the first place. It's cool that the Academy's in the background. That's a neat thing. So this is our big impressive fleet here, Ben. Our ships do look really cool. If I just turn off the overlay here for a second, and we watch the nightmare unfold. All of our ships look super cool. Vodyani's ships are just super cool. So how's that going? Okay, that guy is taking a really crazy amount of damage very, very quickly. The other ships are going to, Jesus, look at the damage from the laser blasts. Just deleting enemy ships. Anything that isn't a large doesn't stand any chance at all. And then this is the battle where we're not using the war arc. It's like, we have another action point, right? Where we are going to hit them with the war arc. See, this is a little awkward. I don't think we're going to get a lot of... We do have a good firing arc here. In theory, we should be able to shoot, but there might be a maximum range on the weapons, because we don't seem to be firing, which is making it hard for me to deal damage. In theory, this should be... Yeah, these guys should be firing, I would think. Okay, so that leaves them with their large, but just their large? And they immediately attack again? That seems like a wild thing to do. Okay, one of their smalls survived as well, and we lost very, very little here. Got a bunch of science out of the science modules on the racks.
Seem to care
Yeah, reparations. We'll worry about reparations later. In fact, no, we will not worry about reparations later. What am I saying? Screw that guy. Screw the betrayer. Do we have one? You know what we don't have is a battle tactic where the middle flotilla is at middle range. Because that would be really nice, actually. Well, let's swap this up a little bit. So let's move the scout ship out of there. We don't want him in there. In fact, all of our tactics have the middle flotilla at close range, which is a thing we should fix when it becomes free to fix it. Actually, you know what? I believe you pay the cost for fixing your flotillas in influence. So we could do it right now. We have a ton of influence that we do not need all of, and we're not going to bother watching this. This is a pretty foregone conclusion here. Alright, so the Academy has fallen. The Fools. And we're going to grab... Boy, what even makes sense with you? I guess, yeah, this. Right. We do have some energy weapons. And we will have more soon. No, not soon, because we're probably not going to do a lot of retrofitting. Alright, I assume that we massively overman them. That said, we may as well sit and siege for a minute here. We have all these siege modules. We're very, very good at doing it. And then next turn when we cap out on Ebony, we'll probably create another habitation arc and send it over to Mayal. Because I want to keep the war arc for war. I mean, the plan I originally had where we were going to convert it into a home is maybe just a little bit silly. And we should actually, speaking of the war arc... Oh, never mind, I can't... I spent all of my movement already. I was going to say we should get out to Fad and catch this fleet as it flees. You know what? Let's just hit it. As good as the siege modules are, I think we should probably take this thing as quickly as possible. So let's blitz. Let's really put all the boots on the ground. They are also Vodyani, but we are better Vodyani. I cannot raise the Academy home system. Well, that's a shame. We can hunt here, though, and get some Orichalcics. So I guess that's what we do. And maybe if we, Oh, be the first to invade 7 systems. It's crazy that I'm the one who got that. That's a very good shielding module. 3,000 shield capacity that fully reloads each of the 3 phases of the battle, and has some projectile defense and some energy defense, and that's really something. Legendary deeds. It turns out that they're pretty good. Well, it looks like looks like we're going to be pinned here for a while then. I mean, like, this is an okay way to farm up some Orichalcics. It does not help me with claiming Olvaldi. Well, one problem at a time. Okay, so now that we have power armor, we have to start thinking about potentially getting top-tier researches done. Genius of the Endless doesn't really help us that much. We have most of the technology that we really want. Is there anything in the science area that's going to be helpful to me at all? A lot of what we have left is just plus science stuff. Obviously, we want almost Serve 4, so I guess let's grab that. Of course, it's made out of Orichalcics, but this would certainly be a helpful thing to have. The fact that it's made out of Orichalcics makes me wonder if I want to bother getting it, honestly. It's like, are we going to build it? Ever? Is that a thing that's going to happen? Ooh, phased cloth seems pretty good. Microstasis motor is a little bit less so. But this is cool. And then quantum evasion. 10% repair on your fleet after each phase of the battle is pretty cool. That's a huge amount of health, unlike mediums. Plus 2 movement points on ships in case your ships weren't fast enough. Because what is fast enough, really, right? Do we have... We do not have Almost Serve 3. We should at the very least grab this. We'll definitely want to refit the arcs on the obelisk system with these when we start building the obelisks. Actually, maybe even before that. And then interstellar windshield seems cool. Super light aerodynamics is fine. What else do we want? Obviously, exavolt beam focus is like a cool idea, but the building costs resources that we don't have extras of. Mega risk containment gives us access to a pretty good mining facility. We'll grab some of that. This would be okay, not great for us. I mean, plus 15% all resources is cool. So I guess we could pick up some more behemoth technology. We could grab, like, the blueprints for a juggernaut to change our military behemoth. But we're just kind of putting stuff in a queue that, like, might, in theory, be useful eventually. We're certainly not desperate for these technologies. Okay. To be perfectly honest with you, I'm talking about optimizing our industry outputs and stuff, but we don't really need to. I think Nos and Nakos are already plenty productive, and Maz will be plenty productive. Okay, that has come to an end. This has begun, which is fine. Here, I'm gonna... Ooh. Esh. The pirates of Esh tried to hack us. So we can stand down and just let their thing happen. They might have been running a hack through our systems. I'm going to shut it down. I don't know what they're doing, but I don't want them doing it. Don't really care. Oh, I guess we should look at that. I am curious, but I'm not going to bother. So yeah, we're at under 1%. So in order to get up to second level, we'd have to pay the Academy, first of all, the entire reparation value, and then at least 25,000 more dust. We're not going to get there. The bad news is, the Cravers are probably going to take the Spear of Isiander. The good news is, we can definitely kill an Academy fleet. We know that for sure.
The anger of the unfallen is...
Okay, they're mad at me. They're mad at me. I am not afraid of the Sheridan. I don't even know where they are. Okay, so we need to start getting some more system development going. What about on Ibella? Ibella also is out of population slots, but Ibella has lots of like useful stuff. We can still build very basic things. So put all that in the queue and we'll figure you out later. We do need to get the mech suit quarter going in places, various places. Let's pull all of the public 3D printing. This stuff can go away. You're already done with it. We definitely want to build the mech suit quarter here. Yeah, it's pretty much everywhere that we have any strategics, right? It doesn't matter what they are. We need lots of everything. Do you want to build that next, or do you have... No, actually, you don't really have that many other things to build. It's just mining tech. Get more antimatter. That's going to be... that's going to be a minute. I'm a little leery of even building fabrication licenses anywhere that they're not totally necessary at this point because of how expensive they are. We should do this, though. We're not planning to build an obelisk here, so I'm not going to bother with the fabrication license. Okay. Well, we're definitely going to have some new resource incomes. So, we can, first of all, apparently there's an unexplored curiosity here. Oh, it's the remains of the ground battle. I mean, we may as well hit it. It's going to be like 10 dust or some garbage. 60 science. Hooray. And then we go ahead and do this thing again. To be perfectly honest, we could probably kill them with preemptive bombing at a lower loss of manpower, which is relevant because we're going to have to keep doing this over and over again until we kill them all. Sadly, we do not get a whole lot of Orichalcics this time. This is not a great long-term strategy. I didn't realize that it was going to be impossible to take this system. Well, I mean, the good news is, like, we're killing population with the actual fighting actions. Then we're killing additional population with the hunt. It seems like they're generating population pretty quickly. But this is still the resource we're way behind on, right? Yeah, we're producing less of that than we are of the Quadronix. And this is the one resource we can't buy. So there's... If we're spending fleet resources doing anything, it should be this. Okay, let's talk about system development. So we need 8 meta-intactogen and 32 gossamer. That's expensive. We've been saving up dust for this purpose. Meta-intactogen, honestly, not that bad to purchase. So... Nos is about to be capped out. Nakos is the most relevant place after that. And then Maz is probably just gonna have to wait. Like that's a lot of resource to purchase right there. We're nowhere near being able to do that, and I'm not gonna bother buying any of it if I can't buy it all. Alright, we bought all this Jade Onyx. So we want to probably Kraz is where we want to put the boost, just because it's kind of a low industry system, and also because it has a higher population potential. So we want the other boosts here more. It's a place that we want to be building up. Okay, I think we're getting some stuff done. We could probably pull one of these fleets away to attack the other Academy stuff, or even just to go play defense. We're about to finish the military behemoth. That'll be able to help. But yeah, maybe we want to draw off this fleet. We're going to lose a fair amount of our manpower. We'll still have 2.7k. Yeah, I'm going to send these guys home. We need to get some repairs going and resupply anyway, because we're not at full ships anymore. And okay. So we're getting close to having enough to start the first obelisk. When we hit 40 Orichalcics, we will make it happen. I didn't actually start building the new arc. I mean, we don't actually need to. Okay, we have Stellar Strikecraft. That's pretty whatever. Sophons are headed up toward a conquest victory. That's interesting. Remember, that first warning comes very, very early in the process, though. We don't actually have to be worried. Not yet. I think we're out of useful skill points with this guy. Yeah, I mean, he's done some fine work. We certainly can't complain. I don't know, man. Reduce your upkeep cost? Okay, a big alliance is formed, and we're going to ignore all of those messages. The Sophons and the Sheridan have banded together, and probably, honestly, gotten further away from their goal in doing so, which I am fine with. Basil's Staccato is leveling up. I mean, another point of Fast and Furious is cool, and then I guess more public relations expert, because we don't really need almost anything else. He's going to be able to get the Joy Initiative, which is fine. It's going to basically just be dust, because our systems are always ecstatic. I mean, Nocturnal Sleepers is something. We don't have a huge number of sleepers. We've not been installing a lot of them, and also they're getting purged constantly, which is a thing that I don't really know how to stop from happening. And I don't think we care too much in this particular case, but would be cool if it wasn't happening. That's certainly true. So what do we want to do here with all of our essence? I guess we have the ability to build more population on Nos now. That's gonna cut into some of it. But I sort of don't need more arcs. We can redesign all of our arcs to go up to... We have good science modules. I guess that would be the thing that the non-building arcs are most are best going to be benefiting us by doing. Looks like I might have that tech already. I certainly don't see it anywhere. Whatever. Let's just go ahead and redesign. So the base arc can probably lose all of its essence modules, honestly. Yeah, you and you and you and you. And also these engines. And we could just go... Almost Study 2 is not great. But also I don't want to really derail for her. Well, hold on. I'm sure Almost Study 3 would be like a single turn off of... Okay, show me climate engineering. It's not a single turn-off course, but it's short enough. You know, let's go ahead and do that. Is there a system I want to grab? Where are we at on our colonization limit? We're exactly at it. So we would start to suffer approval loss if I built another one, or if we took over another system. We could just, like, try to build a very basic war arc, I suppose? I don't know. It probably isn't worth worrying about. We'll just redesign all of our essence stuff. For right now, we'll just have way more essence than we need, which is not exactly a nightmare. Keep checking the market for Gossamer and meta-intactogen as we rebuild our supplies here. So we need to be at 40 orichalcics plus 80 of both of these, plus 125 of both of those. But a lot of that's purchasable. Alright, we took a turn off of the attacks here, just because I'm kind of curious. Does this make it so that we are getting more orichalcics from the hunt? Kind of. A little bit. A very small amount more. Or I guess another way you could look at it is, we actually doubled the amount we're getting from the hunt. Go ahead and embed some more sleepers. We have this military behemoth that is maybe, honestly, just gonna go become a citadel? I don't know. It's definitely going to Nos. We'll figure out what we want to do with it there. Let's start some more hacks before I forget. Let's go ahead and run accelerators. You know, I feel bad just doing the same thing over and over in the hacks a little bit. Like, I feel like I'm not really engaging with the system optimally. But you can't argue, like, this is a very simple way of definitely getting value. Are we a little over? So wait, where am I running defensive programs? We probably don't need to be running defensive programs on Gemini anymore. I don't think Gemini's getting hacked by anybody anytime soon. It's just, like, very inconvenient for them to do so. Alright, everybody's increasing their pressure against us in ways that just does not matter even the tiniest little bit. Let's make sure we kick up our holy proliferation there. That was pretty expensive, actually. Maybe we want to keep all these essence modules in place until we have our until we have the rest of our population in place. So the Academy is sending what seem to be attack fleets over to us. Let's merge you guys up. You know what? Maybe we should wrench these ships real fast just to be ready. It's a lot of money, though. Can we pull... No, we spent all of our movement by engaging in a ground battle. Well, the Crusaders are both fine. You know what? We'll be okay. If they show up and they attack us, he doesn't actually have the command points necessary to combine these fleets, so he would have to come at me with a small fleet and then with a different small fleet. We'll just kill him. It's fine. Open warfare with the Academy. We can live with this. So continuing to check the marketplace, it's 48. 48 is the amount of Gossamer we need. So we're not quite there, but we're getting there. We're mining 9 per turn now. Okay, I'm very excited to get Maz capped out, obviously. I think that's going to be a big deal for us. Next turn, we're going to be able to start building population on Nakos, so that's going to be another big essence expenditure. And I think Nos is going to start building its obelisk next turn. Yeah, we'll be at 40 of this stuff. Yeah, we'll be at all of the numbers we need. So definitely start doing that. Definitely grab this. It looks like we hit our population threshold. Hit our 50. We do need to reboost our population. Alright, you're mad. I don't care about this. After a certain point in the game, almost all of the messages that the AI can possibly send are meaningless to me. Here, build these. Moss doesn't really have a ton of extra stuff that we need to do here. The graviton shield laboratories do cost a small amount of Hyperion, but I guess they're worth putting up. Like, they should probably be a little earlier in that process. Okay, Ebony needs to be dealt with, but hold on. Before I forget, our actual population is 51. We need 51 space potatoes, and I think it would be a pretty bad idea not to push this. We really, really, really want to keep that bonus going. Alright, so our ships have gotten even faster. Ebony needs to just build, like, real basic stuff here. This should be fine to put in the queue. And then, yeah, then we fight. I don't think it matters which one of these fleets we jump. Should be pretty easy kills. Let's move the Brand to the bottom flotilla. Try to keep it in one piece. And then just do, like, this, maybe? Yeah, we can tank with our Crusader. This should be a very, very easy victory. 440 additional science. Compared to our Empire science output, it's not like... it's not an amazing amount. Okay, and then Ebony also has now the ability to explore some encounter remains. Hooray! I'm not gonna... Jesus, what a bad cost for a thing that's gonna give me effectively no dust at all. I guess you can come back over here and search that. The probe is a 0 value resource. So I feel a little bit less bad spending it in pursuit of this. The value of these remains things should really be based on the thing that was destroyed to create it. Like, if you generate a battle remains thing by destroying a really advanced ship, you should be able to get some really advanced resources from it. It's sad that they are completely irrelevant, you know? We are actually not depleting the system's population faster than it is growing. Feels like kind of a waste of my time. Maybe we should just pull these fleets back. Alright, over here on Kraz, we also have a whole bunch of very basic stuff to build. Yeah, just put things in the queue. A bunch of these systems are not actually all that useful anymore. Okay. So next turn we might be able to make this happen. Much meta in tactogens there. So 24 and 48. Actually, we can totally make this work now. It might be expensive. So we need 15 of the 16 of this. And then we can start the system upgrade on Maz right now, rather than building these things, which are fine but unimportant. Okay, and now we don't have to stress too much about luxury resources pretty much for the rest of the game. We got done what we needed to get done. So let's get to the beginning of our obelisk building here then. We can probably just buy out the rest of the construction on Nos here, because obviously we want to start doing this thing. So we're a little bit short. Is there 17 adamantium that I can purchase from the market? There totally is. Okay. A cooperative quest that will run without us having to think about it. The Academy has attacked me at my all because they hate having ships, which I can totally respect. I also hate it when they have ships, you know? We probably want to run the Ark in the middle, just really tear them up. And I think this is an acceptable way to do this. Just handing me free science, which I really appreciate. Yeah, we did not even get close to losing a single ship. Even more damage for the fleet. Do you know what this fleet doesn't have enough of? Alright. Obelisk. 10 turns to build an obelisk on Nos. Here's a question. Should we build the obelisk where it will be built fastest, so that we have one accomplished, or should we build it where it will be built slowest, so that there will be less time after the AI is notified that I have obelisks, less time between that and my victory, I mean. I'm inclined to go that way. Let's see, scientific. Okay, these are not warships. I see him massing stuff up kind of near our border, and I panic a little bit, but it turns out those ships are irrelevant to me. Let's build it on Moss. This would only be 4.9k to just get done and we get to work. It is going to take a while before we are ready to do the next one. Where are we at on Ebony? Yeah, I forgot to buy the mech suit quarter on Ebony, which is a thing we kind of want to do. That's not very easy to do. I guess let's work on it. We'll buy this out just as soon as we can. It's going to be a minute. But every turn of building is taking about 10k off the price, a little bit less than 10k. So, and we'll get there. Alright, roughly 10% repairs per turn. Yeah, this fleet should be in working shape very soon. That is a military behemoth, but our fleets are close enough. I'm way less worried about the Unfallen coming after us, because our fleets are in good response positions. That said, maybe we do just want to pull this fleet back. We're getting so little Orichalcics from doing this, and we're never going to deplete the population of Mayal. It's just not going to happen. Yeah, let's bring these guys home. We could go raid Olvaldi or Fod or something and get more resources, but we can also repair up here and just get a little bit of healing. Repair up and get a little bit of healing are the same idea. That's the same expression. Okay. Oh, I don't even know who we want in our Senate at this point. The pacifists... Yeah, the My Precious Precept doesn't really matter to us. We're nowhere near the Fair Trade Bill. Yeah, this is irrelevant. I guess we can maybe try to throw in the Industrialists and get plus 10% industry per strategic deposit. If I throw in a quick Intimidate Citizens, since we have effectively infinite influence. See if we can make that happen. Religious Industrialists would be a totally fine government. Actually, it looks like we might be getting there. Yeah, I think the Industrialists are passing the Militarists here. Oh, we didn't quite get to the XP threshold for the first law, though. That's a shame. That does make the Craver a member of the Senate, which has some potential for us. And obviously we need to spend some essence on Heka in a real hurry here. Oh no, sorry. That's right. Heka's still at 7 because we haven't been able to do the upgrade there yet. 20% of your food is converted into dust. Yep, okay. That's the one. Because that other one doesn't do anything at all for us. Alright, back to Cold War with you. I probably should have actually looked at the Academy second rinse. That might matter to me a little bit. Hold on, we'll go to the Academy screen here.
Why would I speak to an enemy?
The Sheridan pulled Spear of Isyender. All Breaker got was Master of Dust. Well, that is pretty good for me. Pretty good news. Not like great news. Honestly, that is basically okay news. Gonna let this Craver Scout watch us blow up Academy ships all day long. Just to make it clear to them what the balance would be in that war. Alright, Varb can grab Battlefield Grandmaster. So I'm not too worried about like super optimizing the speed at which Nos and Nakos's obelisks are built. What we are really bottlenecked by in terms of winning the game speed is the upgrade on Maz, right? So that's the one where when it's time to start the third one, then we tighten up around that as much as we can. May as well search the new thing we just created. We got a Prowler. How is it the case that we managed to salvage a ship that wasn't part of the battle from the remains of the battle? How did that happen? Doesn't really make a huge amount of sense when you think about it. Alright, we can mess with our battle tactics again. So we didn't get any industrialist laws. Oh no, we got the core vessels thing. This is not relevant. Yeah, if the industrialists had pulled enough XP to get their first law, we actually totally would have slotted that. So there's not really much for me to do here except pass the turn, right? Now Maz has leveled up, and we can start pushing population. Although, actually, we only need to do one essence spend, because we're generating food here at, like, kind of an incredible rate, actually. We definitely want to get phased cloths. And in fact, that's a high priority pretty much everywhere. Oh, geez, how do you do this? Did that do it? No, there's a command. I think maybe it doesn't exist in... Yeah, maybe it doesn't exist in Endless Space 2, but there's a command in Endless Space 1 to put a thing into the queue in every city. This is a thing that costs us nothing in terms of resources and is just great everywhere. That is definitely a high priority. Around Ibella, we probably do want to finish the mech suit quarter first. Just like resource incomes, obviously. What would it be to buy this out? 140... Okay, never mind. Well, we won't even worry about that there. And important stuff is getting built everywhere. We'll go ahead and install that skill, even though it's going to be a pretty small bonus all of the time. We're going to continue to add sleepers, and they're going to continue to get taken apart. You're sort of out of useful skills for a little while, but our Tech Seeker has all his good stuff. Even more upkeep reduction, I guess. That's technically dust. That gives us something. Lucky Windfall is probably fine. It's not exciting, but it's fine.
What do you want?
I will not help you with your war. I'm very busy. Can't you tell how busy I am? Look at all of these dry cleaners I'm trying to operate right now. Alright, so all of these fleets wish that they had something to do, but they don't have anything to do. And I mean, we can run a fleet back over to Mayal to attack and hunt again in a couple of turns. Maybe pick up a little bit more Orichalcics that way. We're very much bound by the 5 Orichalcics per turn in a way that we can't really do too much about. We could try to trade some off of the Unfallen. Maybe they'd be receptive to that.
Unfallen seethe and struggle to contain the anger of the
I think they must be just spending it as quickly as they can. Is any appearing on the market? Oh. Well, okay then. That's definitely interesting. 29 Orichalcics is a little bit out of my price range, unless... Oh, hey! The price on these has gone back up. It's not, like, super high, but it's higher. So, okay, 29 Orichalcics. What are we talking about there? 32k. Absolutely doable. So, that means that our new bottleneck is Adamantian for a minute here, just temporarily. We can afford to sell Meta Intactogen, but I don't think I'm going to. We can afford to sell maybe all of this. We mine it so quickly. So that's going to give us some Adamantian. It's not going to be the, 64 that we need? Not even going to be close to the 64 that we need. So I guess let's not buy any for the moment. Let's hold off. See how prices trend. But we're definitely getting there. Alright, I should well, maybe I should retrofit my arcs, but retrofitting the arcs does cost dust. Maybe it's not worth it. Yeah, I'm not sure that I care, honestly. So we can just let the last population growth happen naturally, I suppose, to prevent from slowing this thing down. Can I steal resources directly from them? I can't, right? That's not a thing you can do with the other nations. So I guess embedding sleepers is the only way to really get resources from my direct hacking. I suppose at this point we could start hacking the pirates again. Maybe a little bit of a strange idea, but there is still a pirate base up, and you can take dust directly from them. Of course, we'd be running hacks through unfriendly territory, which would mean they would get cancelled some percentage of the time.
Only make the war more painful.
They've sent a demand. You know what? I refuse to give you the dust. I don't care about the influence loss. Something tells me that we'll be fine. So that's still 109. Yeah, like, we've gotten to the point where money is the only thing that is really important to us anymore. Alright, well, we can sell off 20 antimatter at least, right? And this stuff's pretty valuable. We now need 56 adamantium. And then, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to buy any Hyperium. So I didn't need to buy that. I should have looked ahead. Yeah, we're very bound by our Hyperium income now, which is 16 per turn, but that's still too damn slow. I'm surprised to see that there's only 4 on the market. Somebody must be making ships with it. As you have seen, we can spend an awful lot of strategic resources building ships if we really want to. Alright, well, I guess let's just push onward here. We're waiting. I do so hate waiting. We should probably not sell any more of these high tier resources because we do need to get up enough for both of the remaining obelisks. Nakos doesn't really have too much more of great import to build. I suppose this is free and is a lot of science. And then we can build this. We don't actually benefit from it in any way, though. I guess our Empire manpower stock is not 100% full. We definitely don't want to build system shields or anything that requires... You know what? Public 3D printing's okay. We can certainly use the dust. Check the market for Hyperium, and honestly just buy all of the Hyperium every turn until we get close. Is there there's not an Empire, or not an Academy system nearby that has Hyperium. We cannot go into raid for it. We can demand Hyperium from other players. We could try some of that.
Sometimes it's hard to tell your friends from your enemies.
What am I doing? I'm looking at my resources. Oh, you have 279 Hyperium. Here's the thing. I would really love, I don't know, 150 of this. Let's see if we can make that happen. That leaves her with quite a bit. So hopefully she won't view it as too precious. What would you... I mean, absolutely not. Sorry, I shouldn't even have asked, because I should have known they were going to put stuff on there that I was not willing to have on there. Peace? Does peace sweeten the deal at all for you? I know how you feel about not being at war with people. Okay, peace is actually great. They were asking for a trade agreement earlier. We can definitely afford to pay for a trade agreement. Yeah, this has literally no value to either of us, but the AI doesn't understand that, it seems like. And then, geez, what else can I put in here? Oh, we could give her a tech. We could give her tech. Yeah, that makes sense. I certainly don't need to be this far ahead of her. And it might be helpful to us to give her technology that lets her mine advanced resources so that we can get those resources from her, potentially, in trade. She is willing to consider this deal, but I would love to see some blue in that bar. I mean, we can just give her some technology. She still doesn't even have maxed out exploration power, really? Or expedition power? That's pretty wild. How about that? Please accept. Okay, awesome. I'm surprised that they have that much Hyperium sitting around and they're not selling it. You would think, given that the Lumeris are, like, programmed to be very aggressive about that economic victory. Okay, sell stuff. We need to make to 16k. Alright, that lets me start the second one.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but we...
I refuse. I am not interested in an alliance.
A deal, then.
Okay, those are all just messages from her. Now I opened the lines of communication, and now she's just like so excited about that idea. Oh, you can only have one obelisk running at a time. That definitely was not the case previously. There was a time when that was not true. Okay, well, That means that the build times of the earlier obelisks actually do matter. We do have some optimization. If they're bottlenecking like that, we do have some optimization to run here. So there's going to be a lot of like doing basic math and checking against different strategies, and that might not be super fun to watch me figure out. So why don't we call it right here for today? I think this is a fine place to stop. We are executing the plan. We are being threatened continuously by all of our neighbors, probably because of the plan, and if they come for us, then we're going to have a whole lot of shooting to do. So come back next time, tomorrow, to see if that's the case, or if they'll just let us build monuments to our superiority in peace. And we'll see you then.